What's up, guys? DrFeelGood here, back again with another video prescription, and I will be giving my two-part review of Splatoon 2. I got the game the moment it was available for sale legally, which is basically shortly after midnight, Thursday night / Friday morning, and I have to say, I'm loving the game. As I mentioned on many podcasts and videos, I have well over 700 hours in the first Splatoon, and I'm probably going to have at least a good 500 in this one. To be honest, I'm loving it. But today's review is going to be focusing on the good things. Okay, so let's get started. Well, first things first. This game is better than the original in every single way. I mean that. It is better in every single way. Everything is much more detailed visually, from the characters, the Inklings, even, Marina the Octoling, to the gear you can buy, the clothes, the shoes, the headgear, the weapons. Everything has more detailed, and you can tell because they even give you the function to zoom in on said gear as you're looking at it, as your Inkling is wearing that piece of gear. You can literally zoom in on it and even see little small stitching details. You really can. If you compare this game visually to the first game was beautiful to me. The second game is even more so. So let's go ahead and put that out there. It's much more appealing. It is not because it's now in 1080p. Nintendo went to great lengths, and I can tell, to add more detail to everything about this game, just like they always do. Even the Inkopolis Square has more detail. It seems to be just as lively, if not more lively, than the first game. But yes, visually, this game looks damn good. It looks like it got that Mario Kart 8 polish, to be honest. Second, I'm loving the new special weapons in this game. Of course, for multiplayer, I love them. All except for one, and I'll get into that with the second part of my review. But the special weapons of this game, I love them. They basically taken the concepts of special weapons of the first game. Some of them they split apart. They gave one part to one. They made one part into a special weapon. They made another part into a different special weapon altogether. But they are still very much useful, and I really have no serious complaints. I'm not really missing any special weapon from the first game. Maybe one, but that's about it. But hey, who knows? They may bring it back. Moving on. This game launched with a total of 7 maps, which is better than the original. The original launched with 5 maps, so this one launched with 7. Now, of these 7, I will say only 5 are new and exclusive to this game, while the other 2 are actually basically reworked maps from the original, which I think they are Moray Towers, and what is the other one? I can't even think of the name right now. Oh yeah, Port Mackerel. Now, the reworked maps in the first game, they do feel totally different. Although they're the same map, they didn't just add a few more textures and details. They even added new functions and features to the map. For example, Moray Towers now has those ink zip lines you will find in the campaign mode of the first game and also the second game. They have those ink zip lines. Those who owned and played the first one know what the hell I'm talking about. They actually add another strategic segment to the map, so they're all new strategies you can use. I've seen people literally ride it halfway and jump off to get a diving kill, or splat rather. I've seen folks use them to flank the enemy team. So those changes really do change the way you play the map. They really do. Or people that will find these unorthodox ways of flanking in those maps of the prior game, the original, more so now, they add to that ability. And the 5 new maps are awesome. It seems to me that the maps of this game are much bigger than the original. They seem to be much more wide, have a lot more little nooks and crannies to dive into. In other words, although they're big, they seem to have the same, should I say, verticality as what was it called? The the apartment level in the first game. I forget what it was called. Flounder Heights. They seem to have that same type of verticality, you know, in one way or another, if not all. It may be big and tall, but there are very small close quarters combat areas hidden throughout the map, so you can get snuck almost anywhere. Next up, we have what most people were waiting for in this game, especially fans of the first game. The new Salmon Run mode is much more fun than anticipated. I knew the mode was going to be fun. I was interested in the first time they showed it off, but even after playing it, it's much more addictive than I ever thought it could be. I've still played more Turf War than I have Salmon Run, because Salmon Run is not always available. It's like a day on and then a day off. However, I will say, my wife loves it. I love it. It's fun when played with randoms. It's even more fun when played with friends. The mode is amazing. It forces you to learn new weapons you will probably never ever consider otherwise. But that mode is amazing. Let's see what we have next here. This is just a small tidbit, but anyone that has a Switch knows this. But the fact that you can literally play this game in handheld mode or tabletop mode and it does not feel any different is amazing. It still feels very surreal knowing that I could literally play on my TV at home, play multiplayer. And then I actually did this. I went to my mother's house and was sitting at the kitchen table and was playing online multiplayer. It did not feel any different. It didn't feel like a dumbed down experience. It didn't even look any different. You may think, well, you're going from 1080p to 720p. I'm telling you, it did not feel different. I know that I'm not saying the resolution change was not there. I'm simply saying, looking at it, it did not feel different. It did not feel slowed down. It did not feel like they took anything away, which they didn't. The perk of this system, knowing that you can play the full game anywhere, it's even more so apparent when it comes to Splatoon. It really is. Given good internet connection, of course. My mother has great internet, so it was great to be able to play at her house as if I was at home. It really was. And knowing that I did not have to take up her television to do it, I was playing basically privately, but in an online multiplayer match of randoms, it was great. I cannot say that enough. And I was using the Joy-Con grip. So it's amazing. Very, very amazing. Anyone that has a Switch and has a game, I suggest they try it. Even last night, my wife was playing Salmon Run while sitting up in the bed. It was great. Let's see. The campaign mode. The campaign mode is much, much better and more difficult. Now, that is not to say the first one was crappy, because anyone who's played it, they will tell you it's complete opposite. The campaign mode of the first game was awesome, especially the last fight, the last boss fight with DJ Octavio. However, this game, if you played the first game, you love the campaign mode, you are going to adore the campaign mode of this game. I will admit I have not finished it yet. I've beaten 4 out of the 5 available worlds. So I'm on the last world right now. But having said that, it's great. But you'll be challenged from the beginning this time around. It won't be hand-holding for the first 2 or 3 worlds. They're basically assuming that you played the campaign of the first game. They really are. You'll be introduced to new mechanics and stuff the very first level you play. Things you didn't even see in the first game. You really will early on. It kind of feels like they took a Mario approach to the campaign this time around, where they assume that people that played this, that are going to play this mode, have already played the first campaign of the first game. So just letting you know this up front. And the campaign mode this time around offers additional challenges without the need of amiibo. Like, for example, some levels require you to beat it when the first time you play it with a specific weapon. Sheldon will give you a specific weapon. Spoiler alert. that you must use. Now, if you complete that level, you can go back and beat it with all the other available weapons, which I think there are a total of 9. So you have the option to do that. It's not a requirement, although I think it is. You want to unlock certain weapons for multiplayer, but it's an option. It's not a requirement. Okay, so just letting you know, it's pretty cool that you don't have to do it. But for those that want to challenge themselves, if you had a hard enough time beating a level with the gun, hey, you can go back and try with the charger. It may be even more difficult, maybe easier. Who knows? But the option is there. And of course, all the rank modes are still there from the first game. You have your splat zones, your tower control, and what was the other one? Oh yes, Rainmaker. Now there, of course, as Nintendo stated in their recent Nintendo Direct, they're rated individually. So you can be ranked S in splat zones, but a B- in tower control. And that's pretty cool to me. I know some people may be salty because they only had to fight for one rank that applied to rank mode in general, and now if they want to brag about their rank S plus 99, they have to do it 3 times. I don't really care. I don't care about rank mode that much. I will tell you that that's the honest truth for me. But I think it's cool. I think it is very, very cool. It basically allows people to see which mode you really excel in. If not all, you may be better at splat zones. Maybe the only reason you got S plus 99 in the last game is because you only played it when it was when your favorite mode was available. You didn't play the rest of them because maybe you suck at Rainmaker. I don't know, just conjecture. And I would have to also say, the first game was very balanced. This game is even more balanced than the original. From what I can tell, and I've already put in roughly, I believe, over 100 hours thus far. I'm 80 to 100 hours at the very least. I put in 22 hours the first damn day. I got proof if you need it. But yeah, it seems more balanced than the original, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. So you don't have to worry about some super overpowered weapon that everyone's going to complain about. I know in the first game people hated rollers, but rollers were powerful for a reason. And anyone that with common sense would know why. But let's move on. The map rotation. During the last Direct, Nintendo even told us that instead of 4 hours, it would be 2 hours, which I have to say is awesome. It's great. I had no issue with the 4-hour map rotation of the original game. But this 2 hours is much, much better. I will have to agree. It's so much better. Let me just say that one more time. It's so much better. The 4 hours wasn't bad. The 2 hours is just way better. Also, there are no more intrusive, annoying map change ad by the new Squid Sisters, Marina and Pearl. That was one of the annoying things that people said out the gate during like the first week of the original game's release. And I will admit, it was kind of annoying that you had to watch that every single time the maps change. So if you play in 8 hours, you could see that as many as 2 or 3 times. Really, every time the maps change. And every time you turn your game on, you would see that too. Now, if you're already playing the game, you'll just get a small little notification on your screen that the multiplayer maps have been updated. And that's it. That's it. A small notification. There's no more breaking to a commercial break for them to update you using the Squid Sisters. Is no more of that. And I'm not even sure that's what they call this time around, but let's go with it. But yeah, it's not there. The only time you see that now is when I believe Salmon Run is available. They'll let you know that because they have to promote that as well, along with the multiplayer map updates. Or I think it's when you cut your system on for the first time that day. You'll get that notification. But as long as you're playing, you will never see that. So that's also a good change. Nintendo, when it came to that, they did listen to us. Regarding the voice chat app, and I know I'm gonna have a whole bunch of ears listening in close to this. My opinion, the app quality regarding the voice chat is amazing. I tried it out with Shadow Fox. Shout out to him. Along with a whole bunch of other friends on my friends list, such as Terminator Juice. I think ASAP Rail was in there. I'm not sure. It was a few more people, Gilligan Stash, but we were all on there. It was a total of 8 of us, if not more. And we played a few private matches. One was a rank mode. I believe it was Tower. No, it was Rainmaker. And the other was Turf War. And that voice quality was already many times better than Xbox Live and PlayStation Network offerings. It really was. Their voices sound just as good as they do on a Hangout or on Skype. They really do. It doesn't sound like they're talking through, a cup filled with doo-doo. Like, I'm sorry. That's a small exaggeration. Small, but it does sound a hell of a lot better. It's almost close to a phone call. It really is. Pretty damn good quality. I have to give it to Nintendo for that. You can shit on them all you want about the way they went about it, but it's yielded much better audio quality. Just saying. I'm an audiophile and a videophile. I'm telling you, it's much better. Much, much better. Is it sort of cumbersome? Yeah, but it's much better, quality-wise. Another thing about the app, Splatnet 2.0, I'll just call it Splatnet 2, is also awesome. Let me say this. It is what COD Elite should have been. You remember COD Elite that launched with Modern Warfare 3 that was supposed to be this huge community and stat tracker that Call of Duty players would adore? Well, that didn't really last that long. I'm one of the ones that paid for it for the first year. Well, first year was free. I didn't pay for it the second year because they never even got it working properly. But that's another topic I'm never going to discuss, really. However, it is simple but very informative. I will say that. Simple but very informative. You get all the stats of your last 50 battles, whether you won or lost, how much you lost by, the amount of turf you inked, the amount of splats, the amount of deaths. I think the number in parentheses is assists. I'm not sure if it's your assisted kills or maybe number of times you assisted a teammate in getting the kill. I don't know. But it gives you a lot of information. You can even click on each and every person that was in that match on your team and the opposing team. So the Splatnet app is very, very informative. I love it. I absolutely love that app. It gives you the information on ranked battles, turf war. It's great. I cannot praise that app enough. As I said, simple but informative. Now, going back to the game itself, the quick menu UI is extremely useful and a great replacement for the gamepad menu of the original, as it provides all the necessary and or relevant information that you need. So the original had the menu, had a static menu on the gamepad. So basically you would click one place to go to the clothing shop, the hat gear shop, the shoe shop, or you would go see what levels are available on which modes. You can go to the campaign mode, all these things. This is on the gamepad. You just touch it and you go. Even back to the lobby system of the online multiplayer. In this game, you press the X button and it brings up this menu no matter where you are in the system, in the game itself. It brings up that menu and it gives you all the levels that are being played for each mode. So for turf war, for ranked battle, for league battle, it gives you all the levels. Even if salmon run is available, it tells you when it's available, from what time to what time, what weapons. It is a great menu. You can always also use that menu to change your controller sensitivity, for tabletop mode, for handheld mode, for TV mode. All that has all this information there. The status of the gear that you're using, all its perks, the overall map of Inkopolis, the abilities and stuff like that. It gives you all this information there just by the press of a button. And it has multiple tabs. It's great. It really is great. Now, the in-game UI which is, you know, you select the mode or whatever you want to play. It's also good. It's great even, especially the friends option, as it'll tell you, you know, who's available to play, who's in a match, if their lobby is full while they're in a match, if it's joinable, things like that. It tells you these things. Now, I know some of you may be listening to this and thinking, well, this is stuff that Xbox has done, or in Call of Duty. Yeah, but no, they hadn't done it to this effect. Not all games. I love Call of Duty. I played most of their games up to Black Ops 2. And I'm telling you that although you could try to enter a lobby, if that lobby was full, it wouldn't let you. It wouldn't tell you whether it was full. It would show you which friends are online, but it wouldn't let you know whether they're actually joinable or not. So this is actually pretty good. I can't speak for Halo 5. I can't speak for Overwatch or Battlefield 1, but for this, it's pretty good. I have no complaints. Now, in Inkopolis Square, there is a simple image editor, and those who have the game know what I'm talking about. This image editor has resulted in some amazing artwork despite its limitations. It basically lets you draw something in the same vein as, like, say, for example, a dot matrix printer. And you know those bastards are old. It doesn't even give you color variations. Like, it doesn't give you color options, nothing. But I've seen some really, really great detailed artwork come out of that. And I know it's stressful and it strains the hell out of your hand to do it. But I've seen some great artwork. I can't lie. You'd be surprised what you see. In fact, one of them has been going around, showing up on almost everyone's system. And those who have seen this article, I've even shared it on Google Plus. You should know what I'm talking about. Some guy that took a picture of himself with his headset on. He basically drew himself on that using an image editor in great detail. So even with that said, I mean, even though it's very, very limited, people have found a way to use it to the fullest. Now, this should be a known to anyone that's played and loved the first game. The multiplayer is even more addictive than it was in the original. It truly is. If you like the first game but didn't love it, you will certainly love it this time around. And it's the same. It is the same. But it does feel different. I will say that. Not too different. They kept what works and they changed up some things, but it's so much better. The first game was hella addictive. This, even more so. That's all I can say to sum it up. That really is it. If you're looking for more details, I'm sorry, you just have to play it. But it's addictive. The first day, I played 22 straight hours. You know, take out a few bathroom breaks and a couple of naps in there. 22 hours. Just saying. And this is a side tidbit. It's also kind of a troll move. I'll admit, but here goes. No install needed. You just simply pop it in and play. You ain't gotta wait for it to install the whole game or part of it. It's already there. This is gonna be a plus for every Switch game that comes out that's physical. You pop it in and play. Now, of course, I think that for the multiplayer, it requires like a small little 1-minute update, but that's it. But you can still play the campaign mode and everything else without an update. You pop it in and you play. And I think that also went for local play as well. But yeah, pop in and play. Done. Nothing else needs to be said about that. What's next? Oh, the new Squid Girls are cool. I'm not sure what they're called. I think it's called Off the Hook, or maybe that's just the name of their television segment within the game. But Pearl and Marina are cool. I'm not just saying that because I'm so head over heels for Marina. I like Marina. I love Marina, in fact. Because I was a fan of Callie in the first game. She reminds me a lot of her. But I will say, I like them both. My wife loves them both. I'm not hating on Pearl. Am I more of a fan of Marina? Yes, I am. But Pearl is also very cool. Very, very cool. I have nothing against her whatsoever. I don't know why she's getting all this hate. But stop hating on the girl. Their chemistry is on par, if not, at least to me, is better than Callie and Marie. They really are. Their conversations, how they go, they take little jabs at one another. It's great. It really is great. They are so much more humorous than the Squid Sisters of the original game. That's not taking anything away from the Squid Sisters. I love them too. I have their amiibo. But still, these two, much more chemistry, much more humor. I love them. As a pair, I love them. And here's another troll plus for this game. But we already got 2 pieces of that free LC. Not DLC, free LC, meaning it's free, no cost. We got 2 weapons in the first few days, and there's more to come, and you know, in the shape of levels, more weapons, and whatever else. But yeah, we already got 2 pieces within the first few days. Just saying, people. You can't beat that. You can't be free. Okay, let me stop trolling. The new multiplayer map UI, which is a replacement for the static gamepad map of the original, it works pretty damn well. I won't sit here and lie to you and say I don't want the gamepad. It's not better than the gamepad. It is not better than having a gamepad available 100% of the time. But I will say, it contains a lot more information compared to the original. You see all 40 enemy players information in the top right hand corner. It shows you the weapon they're using as well as the perks they have equipped. All the perks. Okay. Then it shows you all your teammates, the weapon they're using, and the perks they have equipped. And then it also shows at the very top the squid icons. It lets you know, of course, the bigger your icons are, that means you have more turf cover, generally speaking. But it shows who has their special, who has earned their special and hasn't used it yet. So you can kind of get, so basically it can be a nice indicator of if you're going up against someone and you see the enemy team has one, if not more people of their squid icons glowing, be on the lookout for their special. Be on the lookout for that, because it could be coming out. You don't know what it is, but you know they have something waiting. So the UI is great, and knowing the map is a three-dimensional map, not a flat 2D, and you can tilt it left and right and see it. Well, very limited control, but you can do it. It's pretty cool. That puts it on par with the first game. Like I said, I still would prefer the gamepad map screen, but this is a pretty good damn replacement. I cannot lie about that. It's pretty good. You have to get used to hitting the button to access it, but I got used to that after a few hours. It's no big deal. Next, the Splatnet report system is great. Now, one of the issues I have with the first game is that when you would notice people mess around your team or not contributing the way they should, you really had no way to report them. You really didn't. If you did, please let me know, but I didn't really see it unless you went and found them on Miiverse. You'd made a report that way about their gameplay, but that was kind of cumbersome. However, on Splatnet, if you go to your recent games played, your last 50 games, which it keeps track of, and you tap on that particular match, it'll show you all the people that played in that match. You can then tap on, you can see their score and everything. You can then tap on their name and see all their stats. It then gives you the option to report that person to say unsportsmanlike conduct, bad username or something like that, or inactivity. They give you like 6 or 7 different reasons to choose from, but then you're required to give a brief explanation. It's required. You can't just choose a reason and then report it. You have to choose a reason and give a brief description. I love that. I've already reported at least about a good 10 people. If you listen to this and you effed around on my team, you weren't helping or you weren't contributing, I reported you. Plain and simple. If you had an arrow spray and you only had 200 points, you were effing around. Unless you were level 1, you were effing around. So I reported you. Plain and simple. Because I don't want to be matched up with you anymore because you don't contribute. I play this game for fun, but no one gets online and lose consistently. I'm sorry. If I lose, I want to know that I lost because we played our hearts out and the other team just found an opportunity or they were just better, but not because someone quit mid-match or someone chose not to contribute or they want to play around. No, You want to sabotage a team? Don't do it on mine. I'm going to report you every time. So if you see somebody squidding on your game, report them. It works. Last but not least that I can think of, and this is a small plus, but while you're in the lobby, you can literally mess with the background music, the soundtrack. For example, you can hit a button and it would and it will make a little additional music note, and it would like a small music track actually that's like 2 or 3 seconds. So you can add like little background vocals in a sense. Or if you would hold down on the left analog stick, it will slow down the entire beat where it sounds like it's, I hate to even use this description, chopped and screwed. Or just screwed, I won't say chopped. You can tap a button to make the same background like noises or tones that it would make normally, or you can reverse them. You can drown out the snares or the drums. You can add to the background, melodies. It's a small tidbit, but it's kind of cool that you can do that while you're in the lobby the entire time. It's very, very cool. I expect to hear more than a few remixes as the months go by. And all this is done with just either directional button presses or button or shoulder button presses. So it's pretty cool. But anyway, that's all I have right now for the good of Splatoon 2. Let me know what you guys think about anything I said in the comments, or let me know what you think is good about the game, if you agree or disagree. And as I always say, keep it gaming.